what's up, everybody? We're live. As I mentioned, we had some internet issues trying to do this after night one, WrestleMania 40 on Saturday night, so we decided to move this to Sunday. But I appreciate you guys hopping in, and we'll let some people jump in here doing this Sunday morning. Of course, WrestleMania 40 night two now. We wait for that. We know Cody versus Roman, Bloodline Rules, all that good stuff. But I appreciate you guys checking out all of our coverage here at Wrestling Reaction. And again, we will kind of see how this works with the internet. We'll give it a shot, but I figured this was better than trying to work on the internet until 3 in the morning. And you guys probably would not have wanted to have a live stream at 3 in the morning. But nonetheless, let's talk about what happened on night one, WrestleMania 40. Quite an interesting show, which was headlined, of course, by the tag team match with The Rock and Roman Reigns coming out victorious over Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, just as we expected heading into this one. Like we said, this was going to be one. Hey, listen, I know, watching the Final Four and trying to watch this at the same time, I mean, come on. T-Rob, come on, right? Like, you can't watch both at the same time, but I had to prioritize certain things, and don't worry, we'll have more of that coming up with the basketball stuff soon enough. But, yeah, so this was certainly an interesting night one, as we know. The main event was just an absolute spectacle, just like we said. I'll jump into this one because I think the crowd thing was very interesting. These people looked like they were freezing their asses off. Let's just call it what it is. I mean, everybody looked frozen. Michael Cole's bringing up the actual temperature and the feels like temperature all night. I mean, it was 40, 45 or something's what it felt like by the end of the evening, lower than that maybe. So, I mean, I didn't think the crowd reception came off great. It wasn't perfect by any means, and it felt like people were just freezing. Like, it just thought people were cold, and I think people in WWE will definitely probably rethink some things now as to, like, booking these shows moving forward, because you just don't want to put yourself in that situation. Now, look, the main event I thought brought him back for sure. And I think the Sami and Gunther match definitely brought him back, like before the actual main event. Like, those were your two big matches to finish things off. But, yeah, like, it's difficult because, like, anytime you're in a stadium, too, like, the crowd noise is going to be a little bit different anyways versus an arena. So I think that's always going to be a challenge. But I just didn't think that the crowd probably hit the peak of what you thought it would be. But I think, again, yeah, I mean, it was Sami and Gunther. I really brought things back, I thought, before the main event. And then the main event started slow, but it's not like we expected this to be some kind of, like, fast-paced, match with The Rock involved at whatever age he is now, right? So I thought that was just something where we'll see how the crowd is on night two. As you guys know, if you've watched the videos I've done, you know that I think there are some big moments coming on night two. So I think the crowd will be a little bit better. Also, shout out here. Yeah, hey, I appreciate you watching from India. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, look, I started this channel a couple months ago now, and I'm like stunned at how many people have started watching. And but we've had fun with this. Like, it's been a really exciting sort of thing to do on the road to WrestleMania 40. And so I've had a lot of fun doing these videos, and so I really appreciate the love. I really do. It means a lot. So I think that was kind of my thought. Like, I feel like, and I have this coming up actually. I recorded a video this morning that'll go up in a little while. But I think by Sami winning, what that does is it gives you a lot more, like, possibilities moving forward. Because, like, think about all the stuff they set up before the match even started. Like, you had all the stuff in the back. Like, Gable's like, hey, I'm going to let you go out and do your thing. All of that. And I thought that was interesting because we know we're going to get a Sami and Gable match. And don't forget, guys, like, something to think about. They have that show coming up in Montreal soon. And so I think that is something, like, what's going to happen there? Like, I think that's always something. Triple H loves to, like, put stuff into, like, the hometown thing. And now Sami's the champion. They're going back to Montreal soon. I think that's for a Raw. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But that's coming up, like, in the next little bit. So, yeah, I think here's what I think's happening. I think you're right. I think this is going to be total heel turn situation where either Gable turns, because I don't know if you can turn Sami at this point unless Gable makes it, one of those things where it's like, hey, Sami took my spot, although at that point, Gable's being a heel anyway. So I just think that's what's going to happen here. Gable's going to feel like Sami was the one that took away his moment that was supposed to be his. He's the one that trained Sami. All of this, like, I think that's exactly what they're doing, and that's awesome because what does it do too? Like, think about it. It puts Gunther. Now you put Gunther into the world title picture, which is where he needs to be at this point. Like, now you need challengers for Cody, and I know you guys like I'm saying it like it's happened already, but I just feel like we're gonna get it. But you also could have Gunther challenge whoever the champion is. Whether it's Rollins, McIntyre, whoever else. Those are options too. So, but yeah, I think that's gonna be interesting. So, all right, I'm gonna try to get to you guys' thoughts here. Like I said, this is gonna be more of just a reaction. I'm not gonna go through every single match and review it or anything. You guys have probably already seen plenty of that. But I just wanted to interact with you guys before night 2 here. Yeah, hey, appreciate that as well. More love from India. I really do appreciate you guys watching. Who should turn face after WrestleMania, Rock or Roman? I think it's got to be Roman. I feel like at this point, The Rock has been so good in this role. They need to just ride this all the way to next year. Like, I think really that's the way you do it, because how long have people been waiting to cheer Roman Reigns? Now, the problem is this, and this is what's becoming more clear, like, as we go into this, the fans just want to cheer The Rock, right? Like, he's so good. And it's like, you have to cheer this guy. And that could be, I mean, you guys heard it. If you watch night 1, right, there were even people booing Cody in favor of The Rock, which we knew would happen. I mean, that's already happened anyways. But when you get, like, the WrestleMania crowd and all that, I mean, I thought this was something where The Rock is so good at the Final Boss character. Yeah, I mean, the character is so awesome that it's hard not to cheer, but at the same time, when he gets into that character and, he's out there berating Cody's mom, Mama Rhodes, and all this stuff, I mean, you have to boo the guy at that point, right? So I feel like I'm with you. I think it's got to be The Rock. Like, he's got to stay this character because, like I said too, what's different about this is it's been so long since, like, Roman has been like that character that you almost not feel sorry for. But, he is kind of someone where if The Rock turns on him, all of a sudden you've got the situation now where it's you're given every reason to look at Roman and feel like, all right, I need to back that guy versus The Rock. And so I think that's definitely the way I would do it. It's a great question, but I think the way they've leaned into it now, it's got to be the match with The Rock as the heel and Roman as the baby face. I just feel like that's the way you do it. So, yeah, I mean, it's all in the delivery, right? Like, The Rock just delivers so well as a heel. It's just, he's fantastic. So, I think that's where tonight's going to be interesting. And also, guys, I did record something else this morning. It'll be a YouTube short, but I did record a little thoughts on why I think Roman Reigns is going to regret that spear he delivered to The Rock, which we know is by accident. But, of course, Seth pushed Cody out of the way, but he's going to regret it. So, but it should be a lot of fun. So, I think that's your let's just call it what it is. I think that's your WrestleMania 41 main event. I think it's The Rock and Roman Reigns. I mean, The Rock looked good out there. Does anyone, he didn't look like, someone that's 25. But The Rock, with the way they built it, he looked pretty good. Like, he was not as gassed as I thought he would be. Like, Rock was doing some good stuff out there. So I hope people appreciate it, because obviously we're not going to get this Rock forever. And I think probably through next year is probably the longest we're getting The Rock as an in-ring competitor, maybe. So, but it's great. So that's a good question, too. I will get back to this one, but you don't really have to be a face or a heel. And I think Triple H just loves that. He loves the fact that you don't have to just have, like, this defining good guy and bad guy. You just have people, because that's what we all, like, look at. Like, we're just trying to interact with people, and, like, everybody has their strengths, everyone has their flaws, and so I don't think it's necessary just to say, hey, this guy is 100% true, you have to love him. No, there may be some things that you don't love about him, and so it's kind of the way it is with The Rock. So all right, I'm going to catch up on some of this stuff here. I know you guys have some questions. I'm going to make sure. Jimmy and Jay, it was not what I thought it would be. Let's just put it that way. I thought that would be a lot more than it was. I hate that, because I thought, those two guys, you guys probably saw the video I did. I thought it was great for them to have a singles match as two brothers, and, never thought they'd get here. They were just the tag team forever and just didn't get a lot of time, and it really just was not the not the match that I thought it would be. So, yeah, but yeah, I agree with this. I mean, I think it's got to be Roman as the guy that is the baby face, or however you want to put the language. I think it's got to be Roman and The Rock in the other way. So, I mean, the Priest cash-in is going to be interesting tonight. I think that's something I mentioned, if you guys saw the video I did on that, I think that there's a lot of ways they could do this. With, I think just seeing how the McIntyre thing's interesting. He came out, I don't know if you guys saw the comments he made, but something about how he's going to leave WWE if he doesn't win the title. But what he could do is he could win the title, and that could just be Drew McIntyre being his usual trolling self, right? But he could win the title, Priest somehow cashes in. That's my thinking is one of the ways they could do it could be you could do it that way. But I don't see Priest cashing in on Reigns. Now that would be something where I can't see it happening. I feel like that is a very far-fetched idea. But hey, if you're Rhea Ripley, that's what you should be saying. You should be saying he's going after the top guy, which Reigns is the top guy over, Rollins right now, just because of, how long he's been the champion. So we'll see what happens with Priest tonight. I think there's a lot of interesting things they could do with him. So, all right, to answer this question, my thoughts on this, are we going to hear the glass shatter tonight? Probably going into last night, I would have said I was about 90% sure. Now, I am 100% sure. Don't even give me 99.9%. Give me 100% chance we hear the glass shatter tonight and Stone Cold Steve Austin makes his way out. I think it's happening. I don't think you can tease it and not deliver it, because we know what happens when you do that, and you're going to get a lot of angry, pissed off fans, and I don't think Triple H wants that as part of this new era. So I feel like Austin's going to get involved somehow, even if it's not the way that I kind of drew it up in the video that I did. I think Austin gets involved tonight somehow, some way. I still think the perfect way to do it is to have everybody else taken out, whether that is Cena involved, Solo, Jimmy, Jay, everybody else is out of the way. You just have The Rock in there with Cody and Reigns. Basically, you're forcing The Rock to make a decision at that point. Does he just haul off on Cody? Is he so pissed at Reigns by something happening before that maybe it makes him think about it for a second? But when that glass shatters, Austin comes out after Rock goes after Cody. Boom, you get rid of him. That's how you do it, I think. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm with you. I think this is where because here's what I think Triple H wants, to be honest with you guys. I think what they really want is they want that lasting visual. Not necessarily. I mean, at the end, I think you just want Cody by himself. But they want Steve Austin, they want Cody, they want Cena. And I saw people laughing about, that's your 3 generations of your top stars or whatever. People are like, where's Hogan? And some people are like, who cares? Who cares where Hogan's at? I don't think Hogan's going to make a run in this one. But if Hogan makes a run in, then Triple H is going all out. And I don't think Hogan's probably going to be running if he does. But, yeah, I feel like that's what they want. They want to crown Cody as the new guy. And the way you do that, you bring back the 2 guys that were the guy with Austin and Cena. And I just think it's too obvious. And maybe that's what worries me a little bit. Is I'm like, they have just put it in front of us as much as they possibly can. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, because like I said, too, I know people can get stuck on, well, Cody's got to win clean. He's got to, there can't be any help. But let's be honest. I'd rather see John Cena and Steve Austin at that show tonight and remember that moment of them coming out and, being one of the surprises or whatever, than I would just looking back and saying, all right, great. Cody, he won clean. That's all he had. It's fine. I mean, this is the Attitude Era. This is what they're leaning into. That main event last night, that was an Attitude Era type main event. And they're leaning into a lot of aspects from that. Hopefully not everything, but they're leaning into a lot of it now. And I think it makes sense because there were a lot of things you could do. So, all right. Yeah, there's a lot of good comments here. I think Priest is going to cash in on Drew. I think that's the most likely option. I would agree with that, Jamal. I think that's what's going to happen. So I do think that's an interesting thought here too, MDL. Drew's going to get cheered. I feel confident in that. Remember, the Punk aspects where things get interesting on this because I think Punk is they put him out there for a reason. Obviously, you want to have CM Punk out there, but I think by putting him on commentary now, you just set up so many things that add that unpredictable layer to this. But you definitely feel like something with Drew and Punk is going to happen, and it's just a matter of, does that happen after McIntyre's won the title, or does Punk cost McIntyre the title? Rollins is still your champ, and I think that's something to think about. Think about what we see with Rollins at the end of last night. Rollins is hurt, like he's playing up the injury and all this. Could it be where Punk costs McIntyre somehow? McIntyre is even more pissed off at Punk now moving forward. That gives them even more fuel. But you have an injured Rollins who just survives. Like, he just barely survives. And then that is where Priest can cash in at that point. But like I said, too, there's something I would consider here. Like, the rift between Priest and Balor potentially. Could Balor cost Priest the cash in? Like, that's why I really like this match, because I feel like there's so many ways they can go with how they do this. So, yeah. So it's going to be interesting. But, all right, let's look at some more comments here. I'm going to try to get to all you guys' comments, because I really appreciate it. This is a lot of fun. This is the first live stream we've done here on the channel, and I know I'm terrible at responding to comments sometimes, because I just get in making a lot of videos, and I just forget to respond to comments. So I like the interaction here with you guys. Yeah, Becky losing to Rhea. I picked Rhea, but I said I didn't think it was that clear-cut. I feel like this is one of those long title reigns that, I mean, she's already held the title for over a year. And to me, Becky can lose at this point and still be okay. I think that's why I hate to say that, because you're like, you don't want people just to lose, and Becky like the gatekeeper or anything at this point. But I feel like Becky's still going to be fine coming out of this. I think they can use that for Becky moving forward. Keep in mind the draft's coming up too. And that's where I think they can get a little creative here. Like, if they want a little bit of a reset for Becky, they could maybe move her to SmackDown potentially, although they're going to keep her and Rollins together, so that could be tricky. But, I think Rhea's in for a long title reign here. And I feel like the big matches they could build to, which I said before, Bianca, Jade, if they ever get there with Jade, those are, like, to me, feel like the most likely candidates to take the title off of Rhea. But we'll see. So it's gonna get very interesting. So, all right, I'm gonna catch up because we got a lot of comments coming in. I'm gonna try to get to a lot of them here. I think The Rock will appear more often in WWE now that he's on the board of TKO. So The Rock did say that last night. I don't know if you guys, of course, that was late. He did the press conference. I just did the video, which I'm sure you guys saw, on him teasing the big surprises for the main event tonight, which we've already talked about what those could be. Rock basically said, he's going to be around. He's not going to wrestle every week. He's not going to be on the show every week by any means, but he's going to be around. And someone asked him if he was going to have more matches, and he basically just said yes without saying yes. Like, he said, of course there's going to be more matches. And I think, again, he pulled this one off so well, to me, just in my opinion. Like, I thought he pulled this one off great. And so they're going to do Rock versus Cody at some point. I think that is clear now, because, like we said, that was the whole point of having The Rock pin Cody on night one, was to, kind of put that in a situation where now, if Cody does win the title, Rock has even more of that power play he can use to say, you owe me a title match, chump. Like, that's what they can do now. So, so I think that's in play. So we are going to see The Rock a lot more, and I think it makes sense. Now, of course, he goes off filming movie stuff and all that right after this. So I don't think the expectation should be we're going to see him often, but I do think he'll pop in and out as necessary, and to build towards the eventual match with Cody and Roman, which I think we know we're getting. And they could even do something with Rollins at some point if Rock wanted to do that match, but have to be the right fit. So, I think you're going to get I think it will probably be made very clear that we are getting Rock versus Roman after tonight, but I just don't know exactly how they do it. I feel like, because if it's all about Austin and Cena getting involved and helping Cody win, I'm curious to know exactly what happened. But like I said, they could also just do the flip of what they did last night, where Reigns spears Rock, and that sets up, the tension. You guys know I've talked about that for months now. But if they do that tonight, where maybe you flip it, The Rock accidentally hits Roman, or maybe purposely hits Roman, whatever you want to do with it, that definitely sets up something coming out of it. So, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. All right, a lot of comments. I'm trying to catch up here, but you guys give me your predictions too in the comments if you want to. what you could expect tonight, what's going to happen. I'm with you. The main event will be the most overbooked match of all time. I agree with that. And I think it could be glorious. I think it'd be fantastic. As long as they pull it off right, you can have overbooked stuff. Like, you just got to make it work within the story. So Rikishi's another one. I hadn't thought about that. He's another one that could come out. They could have everyone here. Like, and again, there's a lot of people out there that are still, free agents at this point too. So that could happen. So yeah, listen, here's a point you bring up. This one of the videos, maybe a couple weeks ago. And remember, here Michael Cole said this last night. If you guys heard early in the match, in the main event, Michael Cole reminded us that 1999 WrestleMania, this is where we saw The Rock and Steve Austin. And Michael Cole slipped that in commentary earlier last night. I have it in my notes here because I was like, I have to remember this. But yes, like, WrestleMania was in Philadelphia 25 years ago. That was when Austin beat The Rock. Could be coming back around for the final boss here in this one. So, hey, The Undertaker, could he be out there? Just give me everybody. How about the finish of this match goes like 3 hours? Like, just give me everybody that's ever been involved with any of these people and just bring them all out for a nice cameo. So, Cena's been teasing it too much. He has teased this thing. He's teased it way more than anybody else. Like, I think Cena has to be there. I don't think there's any doubt anymore. I think he's got to be there. They've teased it. He's teased it. In all these interviews he's done, Cena's teased this a ton. So, yeah, it would be a huge missed opportunity if they don't do this tonight. I think they have to. So, Hogan. Look, Hogan, I don't know. I think there's a reason it was only Austin and Cena on that truck and not Hogan, is because they didn't want to set the expectation that Hogan, but who knows? I mean, you never know. So, yeah, we'll find out. But all right, I hate that I'm laughing at this comment, but by the time Hogan runs to the ring, it'll be WrestleMania 42. Well, Hogan's knees have not held up well. That's wrestling for you, I suppose. But yeah. By the way, Mama Rhodes. If you thought she was the highlight of the show last night, I said I think Mama Rhodes could get the second biggest pop of the night tonight, because she's gonna whip Rock with that belt tonight. That's gonna happen. Like, she's got to. There's no other choice. So I think Mama Rose is gonna get an even bigger pop tonight. So yeah, we'll find out what happens. So that's a good point too. I didn't think about that. Mama Rhodes and Mama Rock. Boy, we're gonna go all out. Like, Triple H has probably been plotting this thing out for months, thinking this is gonna be tremendous. So yeah, it should be tremendous. Good morning to Victor from Canada. We appreciate you watching, Victor. And again, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're jumping in for the first time. We have a lot of fun here. This is the first live stream we've done, and I figured this was the time to do it. And we're going to do another live stream tonight, internet permitting, after night 2. So we will plan on doing 2 live streams in one day, morning and night here. So hit that subscribe button. You can also, by the way, you can join the, it just means, or what do we have here? It's the Tribal Chiefs. So T-Rob knows I almost let something else slip on that. But you can join the Tribal Chiefs. That's our membership tier. And the only reason I did that was because it's kind of fun, because we're going to do some exclusive videos and stuff for members, give you early access to new videos we do here. So if you see that join button, you can join. Just something fun I put together. We're going to do like some members-only live streams and stuff moving forward and all that. So again, just a fun way to keep having fun here and kind of put it for an exclusive group for you guys. So we'll see. Last Mama Standing match. Yeah, be the last Mama Standing. There you go. Mama Rhodes, Mama Rock, last Mama Standing. Can you imagine the how that works? So, yeah, Dustin's an interesting one. I've seen a lot of people bring up Dustin. I think he's one that, I mean, I don't think contractually he can get involved by any way in the match, but I mean, come on. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some photos or visuals of Dustin wanting to see his brother finally get this crowning achievement by finishing the story. So, yeah, there we go. So, all right. Yeah, I mean, they gave the visual last night about, and I don't know if this is what you're referring to, but remember, they did the same camera shot last night that they did at the end of WrestleMania 39, where it's Cody sitting in the ring in the same spot, and behind him, instead of just Roman, you see Rock and Roman. Again, kind of pointing out that here we go again. Like, that's what they're trying to push. Here we go again, Cody. You're screwed again. You have no chance. They've stacked the deck. So, yeah. and I think this is always important to remember, and this is a good point. I mean, this is why like matches tonight, like AJ Styles and LA Knight and ones like that, you have to start building up people for Cody. And I was like, hey, this could be a guarantee LA Knight win. I don't know, because Styles could be someone you could build up for Cody. Maybe you don't think AJ Styles is going to win the title by any means, but you got to have challengers for Cody. And if he is going to win this thing, I mean, Roman, there are no challengers left unless you go to The Rock, I guess. You go back to Seth, but as I said, I am fairly confident Cody's winning this thing. So you got to start building up things for the future. That's where Gunther now comes into play because he's not the champion anymore. We know they kind of set in motion Sami and Chad Gable. And, of course, the tag team stuff, just there's plenty of stuff coming out of that you can go with. But, yeah, you've really got to start setting stuff up for the future now. And I think you'll see some of that tonight without question. So, yeah, we'll see. But, yeah, our Truth, hey, I had a feeling they were going to do something with Truth. Truth's been too good for the past little while that they had to give him a shining moment. And, of course, Michael Cole noted the stats. Their first win for R-Truth at WrestleMania, first time that he and Miz have ever held the tag team titles. And you think about how long these guys have been doing this and how long they've been in WWE. It's remarkable to really think about, like, this was finally their crowning achievement. And that's pretty awesome because, remember, these are the two guys that are, fighting Rock and Cena way back when. Like, they have just been doing this for so long now. And it was cool to see them get that moment. So, and I like they split up the tag team titles, which I would assume a lot of you guys agree with that. I just think it was the right move. Like, split the tag titles. You have a lot of teams to work with now. Triple H is, very interested, I think, in trying to rebuild the tag team division. The stories, sometimes they don't get to the level that some of this other stuff does, but it's okay. You have a decent group. So, Jade, we haven't talked about Jade yet. I do think Jade has to be the person. I see all the comments afterwards. Yeah, I think a Rhea Jade match to me is what Triple H probably has in his mind right now. He's thinking money, 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 money. If you can ever get to that. Now, of course, that's going to come with more experience for Jade. Like, she's going to need more matches before you can put her in that spot. I mean, could that be something that if they're penciling in stuff for WrestleMania 41, like we said, you could do Rock and Roman. You could do Cody and Punk, maybe. You could do Rhea and Jade. I mean, that's a great starting point. But I think, of course, Bianca and Jade's also going to happen at some point. Maybe that's the match next year. But I think Triple H would love that. You're talking about the two physical specimens, Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill, facing off. But again, I think that's going to come with experience for Jade. They've got to make sure she's ready for a match like that because, that's where you have to get to Rhea's level. And I think there's still a ways to go. But although she looked good last night, you just have to protect her. You don't have to put her, like I said before, you don't have to put her out there to where she's in a 30-minute match and she's doing all the work. No, just put her in these tag team matches, let her get more experience, let her get more comfortable, and she'll be fine. So, yeah, I think Jade has got a big future, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Christopher asked, any word on The Undertaker being a surprise? And I've heard nothing about The Undertaker. Maybe some of you guys have seen something out there, but I don't know how Taker ties into stuff, but if they are going to go all out here, and again, this doesn't just have to involve the main event, right? It could be using The Undertaker somewhere else. I mean, Triple H, I said, has made it very clear, like, he wants this to be the biggest WrestleMania of all time. I saw some people a little bit disappointed by night one, but I think that was probably just a couple matches that maybe didn't live up to the hype because the ones that you thought would deliver, delivered. Like, Becky Rhea was good to start the show. Sami Gunther was even better. In the main event, I don't think you could have had any better situation than the way they did it. Sure, it started slow, but that was the point. It was all about kind of the story, and I thought the main event over-delivered in a big way. So, we'll see. I mean, Triple H has a lot of things up his sleeve probably, and who knows? Maybe Taker gets there. Tom asked, do you think Cody? Yeah, Tom, I'm all in on Cody finishing the story. I think it's got to happen tonight. I just don't know how you cannot do it at this point. I feel like you would. I can't even imagine the backlash if it doesn't happen tonight, based on the way they've set it up. So I just cannot think about. I can't even think about a situation where he doesn't finish the story, based on what they do. So, Emily got a lot of airtime in the press conference. Yeah, I assume Emily was the one who got a lot of. I heard her name quite a bit in the press conference. So, yeah, but yeah, this is an interesting thought. MDL. They need Rhea to lose it and Chase as the babyface, turn Bianca after the draft, have a fest. I think Bianca's someone to keep an eye on because I think you're right. They're gonna have to change some things up with Bianca at some point, especially if they're pairing her with Jade. I think that, yeah, that's because I don't think fans are going to boo Jade anytime soon. And so it'd be interesting to see Bianca in that role because we've not really seen her in that spot on the main roster. We haven't seen her kind of had to play that character. So, yeah, hey, if MJF shows up tonight, you're talking about breaking the internet. MJF's out there. Look out. So, yeah. So, WrestleMania next year, you guys have to refresh my memory. I'm going to look at this. Was it... I know I should know the answer to this, and I'm sure me Googling live. It's in Minnesota, isn't it? Or that's one of the potential options, I feel like, was Minneapolis maybe being one of the ones that was talked about there. So I think that's right. So Haku, give me some Haku to interfere, and no one will be left standing. Yeah. If you want to push wrestling is real, put Haku out there because no one's going to be left if that happens. One of the biggest badasses in the history of the sport. So, yeah. So, all right. I'm going to keep catching up on the comments here, but I really appreciate you guys joining. Again, we've got quite a few people in here at 9 in the morning Central Time. I know you guys are at various places getting ready for WrestleMania 40 Night 2, and if you did just join, keep in mind we are going to do something tonight after the show. That's the plan, as long as the internet works. So, we will see what happens there with that. Said, hey, John Cena still got to chase a championship, doesn't he? He's still got one more out there. So was asked which championship was his favorite. He said his next one. Yeah, well, I mean, look, Cena could be available for some future matches. I think Cena's still certainly, and now I know the one he had with Theory last year and some of the others with Solo and stuff, but like I think Cena's still someone that, he's still got ways to have matches. But, as always with guys like Rock and Cena, and it's just a matter of schedules and trying to figure out exactly, how you're going to work around schedules and all that. So CM Punk helping Cody, I just don't know if that happens. I feel like Punk is so involved with McIntyre right now that they want to keep Punk and Cody away from each other until they get back to that. Because, again, I think that's certainly a possibility for next year's WrestleMania if it works out that way to where you eventually get to Punk versus Cody because they were the final two in the Rumble this year. And yeah, I think you could absolutely do that next year maybe with Punk. But I don't know if they get into that tonight. So, MJF, I mean, hey, I don't see any chance that MJF is there. But like I said, if he is, that'll break the internet. Triple H always has something up his sleeve. I said that. Like, he's always got these surprises that we can't guess, but I don't think it's MJF. I would want to knock that down. So, yeah. Still acknowledging, I assume this is the Tribal Chief. And yeah, make sure to acknowledge your Tribal Chief because this could be the last time we acknowledge him as this champion in this run. So, here's an interesting idea. So, what about a double turn? It was Rocky and Cody's plan to screw Roman. Rock will help Cody defeat Roman using heel tactics, just like WrestleMania 17. It's an interesting thought. For some reason, I feel like we've gotten so far in the opposite direction now to where, remember, you guys know, like initially we're wondering, okay, Rock and Cody are definitely working together. But I think at that kickoff event in Las Vegas is where everything changed, where all of a sudden you had, Cody come out and made it very clear, like, and it's just the violence, the physical violence has escalated so much at this point that I just don't know how you could have Rock and Cody work together based on all the beatings. And especially, as I've said too, you can't have The Rock going after a man's mama and expect him to work with that guy. So Cody can't work with The Rock just because he's going after Mama Rhodes. So if Mama Rhodes was not involved, I could probably, wonder about this a little bit more. But I think by adding Mama Rhodes, it's going to be hard for Cody to work with The Rock. So, yeah. Iceberg, we are in the end game. This is it. The end game is here. And I think you're going to see it wrap up in about 12 hours with this thing going down, the likes of which we've never seen. So Lesnar is an interesting name. Yeah, I saw that brought up. Did Heyman mention Lesnar in the Hall of Fame thing the other night, right? I still haven't watched the full Hall of Fame. I am just trying to get caught up on other shows and such. But I think Lesnar was mentioned in that. And I'm curious to see if there's any Brock Lesnar name dropping, any of that tonight. But yeah, I don't know if Lesnar is there. I feel like that, to me, what that would do, again, regardless of what we think about this entire situation, I feel like it just overshadows what you want people to be talking about after tonight. Again, right or wrong, whether you think it should be this way or that way, I just don't think they're going to be able to do that in this main event type setting. Yeah. Hey, we agree. Rock needs to stay heel. I don't think you change anything with The Rock. He's too good right now. This Final Boss character has been awesome. I don't know if you guys saw he's doing the little 8-bit, 16-bit little video game things he put on TikTok or Instagram or something. He's loving this. So you can tell he's having the time of his life. So I love it. I just love the fact that he's this good right now. So he's been tremendous. So look, I think this whole Drew thing, because Drew added this himself about if he doesn't win, he's leaving WWE. Man, I don't know. I just feel like Drew is so good right now. And surely WWE is thinking, why would we let this guy walk away? He's as good as he's ever been. Like I've said many times, that Drew is doing the best work of his entire career. Like I cannot imagine they would put him in this situation. Build his stock up this much, put him in all these prime spots just for him to leave. I just cannot envision that. But that's where maybe he does, like I said, maybe he wins the title, he gets cashed in on, or maybe Punk cost him the title. That gives Drew a reason to stay around, I guess, quote unquote, if he wants to use that as an excuse. But I don't know. I can't see Drew leaving, although a lot of money being offered on the other side right now in AEW, but I don't know. So, yeah, Gunther's going to be the world champion at some point soon. Now, soon doesn't necessarily mean this year, but because remember too, I mean, Triple H loves the old kind of history type stuff, and Cody and Gunther, Royal Rumble, last year, they're down, Final Four this. So I think they definitely can play up the history there. And Gunther, and remember, they've got the, the PLEs in Berlin too soon, right? So that's this summer. Is that right? I have to look up the schedule. But, so keep that in mind. That's something else to where they're going to do something big for him there. So, yeah. But we'll find out. So, yeah, Gunther's reign ended at 666 days. You think they knew what they were doing? Tremendous. Like how you couldn't have done it any better, right? Somehow you play that into it. So, yeah. I mean, look, you got a lot of good points here about setting up a lot of interesting rivalries for the summer, where you've got Cody versus Rock, and yeah, you just brought up the Bash in Berlin. That was what I was trying to think about. Sorry, I'm catching up on comments that I know are minutes old here, but I'm trying to get to all of them. So yeah, I mean, Cody's got a lot of stuff he can do now moving forward, for sure. So, yeah, it's gonna be pretty awesome. So, all right, I'm gonna try to get further down the comments here. If I skip some of your comments, I apologize, but I just realized I'm like 10 minutes behind on the comments. So, all right. Okay, let me get caught up here. While I'm doing that, again, if you guys are joining for the first time, hit the subscribe button. Check out all the videos we've got here on the channel. A lot of stuff getting you ready for tonight. And as I said a few minutes ago, you can leave a super chat if you want to. You can also you can join the membership tier. You can join the Tribal Chiefs. You can be part of the Tribal Chiefs here, where you can join the membership tier, get early access to new videos and exclusive videos for members only. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to try to catch up on some of these. You might want to leave a super chat if you want to make sure I see it, because there's a lot of comments going here up and down the line. So, let's see. Timothy, here's another one. What if the Money in the Bank briefcase is empty? That's a good point too. I never thought about that, but that is something I've heard some people bring up. Like, what happens if someone took that contract out of there? Priest goes to cash in, it's not there. What happens? So, yeah. Will Stone Cold show up tonight? Yes, I think he's there tonight. Hey, that's right, 3:30 p.m. Irish time. Thanks for joining. I know it's a little bit later where you're at versus where I'm at, but that's okay. We're all getting ready for WrestleMania 40 Night 2. Should be a lot of fun. So, yeah, that's right. When the glass breaks, it's everybody's ass tonight. That's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, I'm trying to, in my mind, think about how big this pop is going to be, but I don't know if I can even, measure it in my mind of how big this thing is going to be, actually. So, yeah, the Judgment Day split's coming. I feel pretty confident about that, because Rhea did mention in her press conference last night, if you saw it, but talking about how she was a little upset that the boys didn't get the job done, basically, kind of doing it like that. So, yeah, but all right, let me see. Look, again, I got a video coming up in like an hour maybe, and I did a little YouTube short. Roman spearing him. He's not gonna forget that, and Roman's gonna regret it. I think that's what's gonna happen. So, I think Paul Heyman's an interesting one here, and that's a good point, because I wonder, does Heyman have any role in this match tonight? I feel like they have tied Reigns and Heyman together so closely. like with the Hall of Fame stuff and everything, the way that, as always, find somebody that looks at you the way that Paul Heyman looks at Roman Reigns. I feel like they're too tied together to have Heyman turn on Reigns. I don't think it makes any sense, but who knows? Like, it's The Rock. Maybe The Rock's doing the power play and he gets Heyman to turn on Reigns. Wouldn't be the first time Heyman's turned on a client in a big match, right? So, if Brock Lesnar, 2002, Survivor Series, Big Show, he joins the Big Show, screws Brock Lesnar. So, he's done a lot of that. So, there you go. He mentioned him twice. Okay, sorry. Like I said, I'm catching up on comments, but I figured that was the case. So, that could be something where I don't know. I don't know if they do that tonight, but maybe they do. So, that's the fun thing. Sheamus is one that I thought would actually be back before this show. But, he's also, didn't he delete his Twitter account or something? So, I don't know what's going on with Sheamus. It's been a while since we've seen him. So, do I think WrestleMania 40 Night 1 topped last year's? Boy, Night 1 was so good last year. I mean, I think the matches that were supposed to delivered, except for Jimmy and Jay. That was the one I'm a little surprised by. And I can tell, by the way, guys, it looks like my internet's going out. It's telling me my connection is unstable. So I apologize. We will end this soon if it does not get better. And I don't want you guys to watch a blurry screen. But again, make sure you hit that subscribe button in case I have to end this soon, because we'll do another live stream tonight with better internet, hopefully. So, all right. Let's see what else we're going to catch up on here. So... JD McDonough, look out for that guy. He's always up to something. So, always up to something. Yeah, I agree, Charles. Tonight's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. We talked about a lot of this, too. If you're just jumping in, we talked about a lot of these potential things tonight. What could happen. We did that early on in the video. So, good. Thanks for the update, Chris. I'm glad it's coming through. I just can't tell on my side. So, just want to make sure you guys aren't getting a blurry screen. So, the Tribal Chief was not happy. So I would definitely recommend, if you have some time before tonight, watch the press conference, because the Tribal Chief was in a very pissed off mood to start the press conference, kicking a reporter out, all that. He was not happy. But he finally answered some questions and kind of pointed out how special it was for this, moment to be in the ring with The Rock and have everything that happened, and kind of how he'd be, he'd been dreaming of this, having this opportunity. So, yeah. So I know, Aaron, we brought that up in the previous videos about how, look at all the signs that are there with The Rock, right? And you guys can watch this whole string of videos I've done on this over the past month or whatever now. It's the different hand signals. It's The Rock standing off to the side with everybody else on the other side. Although, as I mentioned in one of my most recent videos, Solo has started to move much closer to The Rock than he used to be. You can see the difference I put in those videos of the visuals of how Solo used to be grouped together with Reigns and Jimmy. Now he's way closer to The Rock than he's ever been. And so when they stand in the ring together, but yet Rock is still kind of off by himself. So something's up here. And we all know something's up. It's just we got to figure out exactly how it plays out. So, yeah. I mean, it's anytime WWE makes you think that the briefcase doesn't exist, that's when they remind you that the briefcase exists. So the whole fact that they've downplayed Priest and all this other stuff, because it's if you're Priest, why don't you even take a chance to cash in last night? Although Cody was still out there, it may have been hard, but Rollins is out. He's clearly injured, but I think that plays into tonight. Tonight is going to be the one. And I think tonight is the show they've really built everything up for, right? It felt like the undercard was better last night in terms of on paper. Now, we said there's certain matches that did not deliver, one in particular, but everything else, I thought really came through. Becky and Rhea, like I said, Gunther and Sami, and the main event was great. Even the tag team match was fun, and so, yeah, I think that was, or the ladder match, that is. So I think there's definitely something where they could do it. So, yeah, but, yeah. Hey, we'll see you later, Charles. Yeah, join after the show tonight. We'll have a fun live stream. It should be interesting, to say the least. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. So, yeah, I did see something about Roman. Was it teasing something about signing with? I don't think that factors in. You never know, but I just think this is the time for Roman to go away for a bit. And I know everybody's like, well, he's gone away for a while now, right? He's not really around that much, but I think this is how you do it. You tease the split or have the official split with The Rock. Reigns goes away for a while, comes back. People are going to cheer him when he comes back. And I think that could be SummerSlam. So we'll find out. Yeah. yeah, Roman's saying he's going to retire if he loses. I just, what could change that, right? Like, you can always change your mind, but I think what he could be doing here, if he says he's done after this, whatever The Rock does to him, or whatever he sees happen, whatever he sees The Rock do while he's gone, could force him to say, you know what, I'm not finished yet. And I think that's probably how you play it. So that's just my guess. But Will brings up the Bayley versus EO match. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that they never got to the level that we thought they could with this. I mean, remember, people are pushing for this to be like the night one main event before we got into all the obvious stuff with this tag team match being the main event last night or whatever, right? And so it's not gotten to that level. I think if you look at the match order, I think this one's going on second tonight after Rollins and McIntyre. So, like, even the spot it's in does not feel great. But I do think Bayley's going to get her moment, and I feel like that's what it's all about. Story's been a little lacking, but Bayley getting her moment, she deserves it, and I think that's going to mean more than anything. So, yeah, I think that's what's going to matter. So, yeah, I mean, look, we got to listen to Irish Sam here. Like, he knows. JD's up to something. JD's always up to something. And so I'm curious to see how they play out the cash-in. I think we're getting something tonight. Now, remember, we also have the Raw after WrestleMania, and I feel like Triple H probably wants to make that a big deal again because it hasn't felt like a big deal in a while. So I think they're going to do something there. So, yeah. But, hey, we appreciate you watching. Yeah, see you later. Hopefully you join on the live stream a little bit later on. So, the Roman beating Hogan record thing, I don't know. I just feel like it's to a point now where you cannot drag this out any further. They've just, like, this is like the example of the poker thing. Like, they have gone all in on this. Like, they have gone all in on Cody finishing this thing. And I feel like, and we said this last year, and here's what's interesting, and I'm gonna hate to say this because I remember what I said last year. Last year I said, I don't know if they can replicate this ever again. I don't think they can ever put this in position again the way they did it last year. But they've done it now. And, like, I was completely wrong on that. Like, they have done it to where they've made this feel even more important. And I don't think Roman beating a not meaningless record, but a record that really most people aren't, like, talking about on the daily basis by any means. It's there, and I know and you bring up a good point because all the reports have been over the past year or whatever, WWE wants to have some of these newer people be people that when you go back and look, they have these title reigns. Like, they have the longest reigning whatever, right? And so I think there's definitely a thought to that, but I just don't think that's as important as doing the story the right way and finishing it the right way. And, like, now has to be the time. I mean, I said it last year, but, like, now I don't think you could make it any more. They can't. Like, I don't think they can hold this off. So if Roman doesn't beat Hogan, so be it. I worry if that's what they're really leaning into. I don't think that's as important as what they need to be doing moving forward with Cody and finishing the story and all that. So, yeah. So, anyways. All right, let's see what else we need to get to here. Interesting point about the arena being too dark. I didn't really notice that, but I did see someone mention it. I saw a couple people mention it on Twitter. Was anybody there last night? By the way, if you're in the chat and you were there, let me know. I'm curious because we talked about the crowd earlier, and people are a little disappointed at the crowd reaction, to say the least. But, yeah, hey, there's a great chance that something nobody predicted will happen tonight. 100% agree. I'm with you. I think there is a great chance that we think we've got it figured out, but as we always know, Triple H one step ahead. He's always a step ahead. So he's got something. He's got something that we aren't even thinking of. So, yeah, but we'll see. That's an interesting point. McIntyre and Heyman were talking a few weeks back. Could be interesting. We'll see. But so watching last night on the couch. Well, listen, so was I. So I wasn't there. So I can't get too mad at people who are maybe not cheering as loud as we thought they should, because they're sitting out in the 50-degree weather, 40-something degree weather. I'm not. So I'm not going to get too mad about these people or what they did with their cheering. So were you there? Okay. Good deal. I mean, I'm sure it was, the atmosphere, I'm sure there is fun. Like it's always hard in the stadiums to come through on TV. Like it really is. It's very hard to replicate just how loud it is in the stadium on television. But that's with any case. We'll see. So, yeah, can anybody tell me on I saw this last night, but I did not actually, people were saying this on Twitter, But again, I never try to get too far into the Twitter direction sometimes to believe things. But people were talking about how she had, was it strep, like a 104 fever or something? Like, I don't know. Like, people were bringing that up, and I never saw like an actual report on it, but I could have just missed it. So it's possible. So, yeah. Yeah, don't forget that wind chill, 15 mile an hour. Ooh. And it feels like temperature was like 7 degrees colder or 5 degrees colder, whatever, than it was in actuality. So, yeah. But, yeah, I'm with you, Aaron. It's not going to be Cody versus Reigns. That's why we're doing Bloodline Rules. Like, it's going to be chaos everywhere. You're going to have so many people involved, and as long as they do it the right way, I just don't see a problem with that. I think we're gone from the era where it has to be a clean finish every single time. It's just, this is WWE. Like, it's the entertainment aspect. You know, that's what it is. And so if you're getting all these big pops from the guys returning and stuff, you'll take that. So, yeah. But the tears of Mama Rhodes might end up on the belt. Tears of joy and happiness. That's right. Different tears this time. Maybe the ones we saw last year from the Rhodes family. We could have some tears of joy this year. So, yeah. But go on. That is the first time I can ever remember a wrestling show, other than the Ponchos, right? Before whichever WrestleMania that was a couple years ago, where you got Joe and Cole out there in the Ponchos with the rain. And Cole's, you're seeing like the weather radar on the screen. But Cole continually announcing the forecast. And also, by the way, too, remember they had Adam Cole. Gosh. Adam Cole was not there last night. Do not report that. They had Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis come out before the main event. You know, they're announcing the attendance. But it almost to me sounded like something where like Adam Pearce was like, we want you guys to give it a little extra something. Like to basically say, hey, come on, guys. We know it's cold, but please be a little bit louder for this main event when they were there to announce the attendance. So, yeah, that was kind of interesting, I thought. All right. I want you guys, I'm going to wrap up here in a few minutes, but I want you guys to give me some predictions. So, give me your prediction for what the best match is going to be. I mean, is it very obvious? It's going to be Cody versus Reigns. I don't know. I can't imagine there's another choice. There are a lot of good matches, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like this is going to be the best match tonight. And give me your predictions for some of the other matches. Who do you got? Give me your thoughts on Rollins and McIntyre. Who walks out with a world championship, which you can also pick Priest there if you want to. And then, of course, Bayley, Io Sky. We've got some interesting stuff here on this card. And by the way, we have the one match we've not mentioned. I don't think I've mentioned at all. And here it is. Let me find it here from Christopher. So, the street fight. So, I'll be honest. I have not liked this build at all. I just think it's kind of got lost in the shuffle. But I've heard some people say, what could be interesting about this street fight? You could have all the ECW legends get involved here, right? So you could have kind of the blast from the past with the ECW guys somehow getting involved in this and all of that. So I think that's something that we may want to keep our eye on here because it is a street fight, meaning you're going to bring a lot of things into play. There's going to be interference probably, weapons. You're going to get some ECW legends involved tonight. I think that's something that's going to happen. So the street fight has my interest for that reason. Not necessarily because of the build, but yeah, we'll see. So, all right, see a lot of predictions coming in. Yeah, AJ versus LA Knight, the work rate match. I thought that one should have been like a street fight or something. They haven't added any stipulation to that, right? I mean, these two guys, LA Knight, my man, got arrested in AJ Styles' home. That's how much he wants to destroy AJ Styles. So, yeah. Hey, the street fight has probably been the one that's been built up the least. But if they get the ECW guys involved, give me somebody out there just to make it interesting. Because if it's just those guys, they're going to have a tough task on their hands. But I think that's where they're going to do like the ECW tribute with weapons and all this other stuff. So that's my guess. So yeah, we'll see. So is that what Lashley said? I see in the comments. I don't know. I didn't see what Lashley said about this feud, but it has lasted a while, I think is safe to say. So yeah, Triple H too. They don't know if you saw the teaser last night. They're doing the documentary on the Pivot, so it's called, how they changed things in this whole Cody Rock storyline leading to WrestleMania. They're doing a documentary on that, which I think is fascinating. But Triple H just said pretty much the WrestleMania card has been penciled in since October. That's the way they used to do things in WWE. We know more recently it's been penciled in like a week before or something. But so yeah, I think LA Knight needs that win too. I'm curious. I think I don't want to overthink this. I think LA Knight's going to win. But I just wonder if AJ Styles is one of those guys they want to try to build up for a potential Cody match at some point. You can tie in some history between those two guys. But maybe that's something you can do without him beating. It's LA Knight's first WrestleMania match. I think you got to give him the win here. So, Corey, bold prediction. Dustin's going to be there tonight. Well, I mean, I think he'll be there tonight. Like I said, I don't know how contractually he could get involved, but because I mean, boy, AEW set up quite a. I mean, like Dustin challenging for the title, challenging Joe for the title or something. I don't remember if I saw that last night. Everything's a blur. But hey, Uncle Howdie, if you guys saw, Timothy brings up a good point here. If you saw my review I did of the Bray Wyatt documentary, which again, if you've not watched this, please go watch it. It's 2 hours, but it's just, man, it's an emotional. Whew, it'll get you, as I said in the review that I did. But they did tease the Uncle Howdy thing at the end of that. If you go all the way through the credits, the Triple H specialty, they did tease that Uncle Howdy could be making a return. So could we get some kind of Bray Wyatt tribute via Uncle Howdy tonight? It's possible too. So it could be interesting. I like that idea. So are you going to the show tonight? Okay. Yeah. Well, have fun. That should be awesome. I've never been to a WrestleMania. I want to go, and I'm going to make it my goal that, hey, if we get this channel big enough, guys, maybe I'll be there next year. Like, maybe that's the goal, right? Like, you guys help me build up the channel. We'll all go to WrestleMania next year. Again, it sounds like it's going to be maybe in Minnesota. That's what it sounds like. So, yeah. So, we'll see. Yeah, that's right. Bo has a page, but Bo Dallas Taylor Rotunda, he has a YouTube channel. He's been doing those little videos on there. So I always see him pop up when I'm on YouTube. I'm like, I'll watch this next one, see what he's up to. So I think they're definitely doing something with him, which is cool because it would be nice to see what they can do and kind of leave off some of the things with that. So, yeah, okay. So, see, I haven't, and I'm going to just go ahead and say this now because there's a lot of you guys watching who probably wonder, why don't I do as many AEW videos? I'll just be honest, like, it's not that I am anti-AEW in any way. I've done some AEW videos, but it's just, these are just, WWE stuff right now is what I connect more with. And I like the AEW stuff, and I will probably try to review more AEW shows moving forward and do a lot of videos on them, but WWE has been my priority in terms of, like, what I choose to watch first, and there are some weeks where I just get behind, and I have to catch up on AEW many days later. And so it's not that I think someone maybe said that in the comments, like, do I just have something against I don't have anything against AEW. I just haven't had time in this WrestleMania season to really lean into AEW the way that I lean into WWE. I mean, I did some stuff on Revolution and all that, but I'll try to do more AEW videos if you guys want that. But I've just, I just not had a chance to do it. So, all right, let's see. So, Sam's going to be live streaming from Clash of the Castle. Yep, Clash of the Castle coming back. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. So, let's see. Oh, okay. So, Christopher, you've been there. Okay, you've been to 3 of them, 33, 35, and then 37. Okay, well, that's awesome. I mean, yeah, I can't even imagine, like, just that entire weekend, too. Not even just, like, WrestleMania, but all the shows that are around it, too. And I've been trying to catch up on some of the other shows, like the indie shows and stuff that took place this weekend, and there will be ones I'll have to watch after the facts, like, in the next couple of days. But I'm excited just to see it. It's just such a fun thing, like, just to have all these shows and this one little thing. So, yeah, Minnesota. If they think Philly's bad and they're going to do Minnesota next year around this time, my guess is not a good idea to have that outside. So, luckily, Minnesota has the Dome, right, where the Vikings play. So, yeah, so that'll be fine. So, all right, let's see what we have going on. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, the AEW stuff, I definitely watched for Sting because I wanted to see the retirement way and everything. It's just, again, there are things that I enjoy. There are things I don't enjoy, which I say the same about WWE, but I'm just more invested in what's going on in WWE right now, which that's part of being a fan. And the fandom, I think, is sometimes there's an ebb and a flow in what you enjoy and what, maybe doesn't and, hook you as much. And I'm curious to see what they do with all the new signings over there. And we'll see what happens if they can, build some stuff and all that. So, all right, let's see what else we got. We'll wrap up in just a minute, guys. We've almost been going an hour, and I'll let you guys have the rest of your day to get ready for Avengers Endgame tonight at WrestleMania 40 Night 2. So you live in Dallas, MDL. Okay, so you were there at 38. All right. Well, that'd be, hey, then you're going to be ready for this one tonight if Austin comes back out. Although I'm sure being there live tonight could just be crazy. But now, saying you were at Austin's last match, which I don't, listen, even if Austin comes back tonight, I don't know if that means he's going to have another match. But I thought that was a perfect send-off for him to have the one he had with Owens. And again, talk about over-delivering. That over-delivered for sure. So, yeah, I'm sure that was a lot of fun. The McMahon stuff in that show, probably not so much. Poor Corey. Don't be hard on Shane O'Mac. Shane O'Mac is not going to be there tonight in action. We're not going to be hard on Shane-O. Come on. Poor Shane-O taking a hit here. So, yeah, David, I know you're joining in. You mentioned a minute ago, checking in here. Yeah, my final prediction. I'm going Cody. I think he wins tonight. If he doesn't, I don't know what they do. So I think Cody's got to win tonight. That's really what it comes down to. So that's my final prediction. And like I said, guys, I'm putting videos up all morning, so you're going to have a couple YouTube shorts. You've already seen the one I put up earlier about The Rock teasing the unexpected surprises. And go back through the entire playlist we have here on our WrestleMania 40 predictions and all that. Yeah. Yep. The shatter. Glass breaks. Like, I think what we should all do is film our live reactions. When we go into the main event, like before the finish, you know it's coming. Like, if I have a camera to my face, maybe I'll put that up as a YouTube short. My live reaction to hearing the glass break, and I will probably look like a little child, like just because it will be one of those moments that just, it's cool. Like, it's just a cool thing. So, hey, T-Rob, I appreciate you joining. I know you joined me on the stuff that I do elsewhere. And so, final prediction, like I said, Cody Rhodes finishes the story. If he doesn't, you guys can clip this right here for your own enjoyment, and you can laugh at me if you want. But so, yeah, we'll find out. So, all right, let me see if there's anything else, and I am going to wrap up here, guys. 2-minute warning is what we're going to call this. So, let's see. Try to catch up on stuff. But again, give me your final predictions. Who are your final predictions for the night? And remember, if you're joining for the first time, hit that subscribe button. And you can join the tier as well, the Tribal Chiefs membership tier. You see that join button. You can do that and get exclusive videos here on the channel moving forward. I'm going to do some retro stuff too. Not sure if you guys would be into that, but I've written about 300 retro show reviews that I kind of want to just do videos on. Like, that's a lot of shows, right? So if you guys have any interest in retro wrestling stuff, especially WWE, WCW, that kind of stuff, I love watching and I mean retro, like basically anything before 2008, like that, anywhere, like the 80s, the 90s, whatever. So if you guys want some retro stuff, I'll start doing some videos on those too, and all that. So yeah, that's Stunner on Vince at 38. A memorable moment for all the wrong reasons. Yeah. So, I mean, look, David, Roman will win. He's got the bloodline, but I think Cody's going to have some help here. Cody's going to have some help tonight. So, yeah, hey, I didn't even think about this. You're right. The Rock selling the Stunner. Now that is going to be the show-stealing moment tonight. How is The Rock, at his age, going to sell the Stunner? If he sells that thing where he catapults his entire body into the air at this age, hopefully doesn't cause an injury. Like, I think he needs to be careful with that. So, yeah, the only thing missing will be Jim Ross saying, Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold. Oh, JR. He'd love to call this thing tonight if he was there. So, hey, I appreciate you subbing. That's awesome. Thanks for watching. And again, we're going to do another one of these tonight. So, all right, you're going to go final prediction. Damian cashing in on Roman. All right. Yep. Hey, I did a video on that this morning, Irish Sam. Big surprise coming tonight from The Rock. And, yeah, I think we know what that's going to be. So, yeah, nobody sells the Stunner, yeah, like The Rock. So, hey, appreciate you, MDL. Yeah, should be a lot of fun. Hope you can join us later. If not, we'll talk more soon as we do more of these live streams moving forward. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, but all right. Hey, Randy Orton, something else to consider. Talk about programs for Cody moving forward if he wins the title. Randy Orton. That could be a lot of fun, I think. If you get heel Orton back, the Snake, the Viper, oh, now sign me up for that one. Cody versus Randy, kind of a vengeful Randy Orton going into the final part of his career, wanting to win a title for the last time, and he doesn't like it with Cody. So we'll see. But all right, guys, I'm going to hop off here. I appreciate you joining, Irish Sam. I hope you become a regular. It's a lot of fun having a discussion. So I know you guys don't want me to worry about AEW. Again, I'm not knocking. There's some fun stuff I can do with that. There's some stuff I like going on over there, and I'll do more videos. But, yeah, for now, I'm really invested on the WWE stuff. So we'll see. We'll get there. But seriously, guys, I appreciate you watching. This was a lot of fun. And yeah, we're definitely going to, again, try this again tonight. Time-wise, it'll be probably right after the main event. That's what we're going to shoot for. Hopefully, the internet holds because I don't want to do this tomorrow morning. I definitely want to do this tonight. So we will definitely give it a shot. Hit the like button too on your way out. I really appreciate it. Check out all the other videos, like I said, leading into tonight. I still got 2 more going up this morning, so you can check those out. Just little short videos, kind of with some thoughts on last night. So again, I can't thank you guys enough for making this channel what it is. Only a few months in, and this is a lot of fun. And hope you enjoy WrestleMania 40 Night 2. We will be here to talk about it. I will put the live stream up later on, so be sure to set those notifications so you get a reminder and a notification as soon as we go live. And so it should be a lot of fun. Seriously, thank you guys again, and we'll talk later after Bloodline Rules, Cody versus Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 40